The world used to have a warmth to it, a golden hue that settled over everything when Michael was by my side. We built our life together brick by painstaking brick, dream by whispered dream. Our apartment always smelled of freshly brewed coffee in the mornings and a mix of whatever experimental dinner I was attempting in the evenings. His laughter was my favorite sound, a deep, rumbling joy that could chase away any shadow. We had our routines, our inside jokes, our comfortable silences. I believed in us, I believed in forever with an almost childlike certainty. We talked about buying a house somewhere with a big garden, a place where we could grow old and watch our future children play. Those conversations were real to me, vibrant and tangible. They were the very fabric of my future. I remember one particular evening we were curled up on the sofa, watching a silly old movie. He had his arm around me, his fingers gently tracing patterns on my arm. The comfort, the peace, it was overwhelming. I felt so safe, so loved, so completely and utterly content. That feeling was my anchor, my North Star. It was the bedrock of everything I knew. Then subtle shifts began to ripple through that calm surface. At first, they were so minor I dismissed them. Little things. He started staying later at work, a new project, he set a crucial deadline. His phone became a constant companion, always face down, always just out of my reach. He'd take calls in the other room, his voice hushed, a habit he never had before. My questions were met with a shrug, a vague explanation about client confidentiality, or a late-night call with his team. I tried to be understanding, to be supportive. Work stress affects everyone, I told myself. He's just busy. But the distance grew. Our shared laughter became less frequent. Our comfortable silences now felt heavy, with unspoken words. The gentle touches faded, replaced by hurried pecks on the cheek. I felt an invisible wall rising between us, a translucent barrier that kept me from reaching the man I loved. My gut twisted with unease, but my heart refused to believe anything was truly wrong. I made excuses for him, for us. We're just tired, I thought. Every relationship has its ups and downs. This is just a down. We'll get through it. We always do. The nights grew longer, the bed colder. I'd lie awake listening to the sounds of the city, the silence of our apartment. He'd often be asleep beside me, but his presence felt distant. I'd reach for him sometimes, hoping to bridge the chasm, but he'd stir vaguely and turn away, muttering something about needing sleep. The intimacy, the effortless connection we once shared seemed to evaporate, leaving behind a hollow ache. I tried to talk to him, to express my fears, my growing sense of isolation. He'd listen with a distracted air, offer a quick apology, a promise to make more time. But the promises never materialized. The new project seemed to stretch endlessly. His phone remained his secret keeper. My trust began to fray around the edges, a delicate thread threatening to snap. The day it all shattered is etched into my memory with a horrifying clarity. It was a Tuesday. I was working from home, and Michael had left early for a meeting. He'd forgotten his laptop bag, something he rarely did. I decided to drop it off at his office on my lunch break, a small gesture to remind him I was thinking of him, to perhaps spark some of that old warmth. I walked into his office building, a smile on my face, the laptop bag swinging from my hand. I knew his floor, his cubicle. As I approached his desk, I saw it. Not his desk, but the one next to it. A woman was sitting there. She was laughing, a light, bright sound, and Michael was leaning over her desk, his back to me, his hand resting casually on her shoulder. My breath caught in my throat. It wasn't just the touch, it was the way he was looking at her, the easy intimacy, the undeniable connection. It was the same look he used to give me a look that spoke volumes of affection and comfort. My heart plummeted. My blood ran cold. The laptop bag felt suddenly heavy in my hand. I wanted to scream, I wanted to run. Instead, I just stood there, frozen, an unwelcome spectator in my own life's unfolding tragedy. I heard snippets of their conversation, playful banter, shared jokes about something I didn't understand. It was like watching a scene from a movie, only the lead actress was me and I was being written out of the script. He turned, then his eyes meeting mine. The smile on his face vanished, replaced by a flicker of shock, and then a mask of carefully constructed neutrality. The woman at the desk looked up too, her smile fading as she sensed the sudden shift in the atmosphere. "Hey, what are you doing here?" he asked, his voice oddly flat. "You forgot your bag." I managed to whisper my voice, barely a thread. My eyes were fixed on his hand, which had slowly dropped from the woman's shoulder. He took the bag from me, his fingers brushing mine. They felt cold, distant. "Thanks," he said, avoiding my gaze. "I'll see you at home." There was no warmth, no tenderness, no familiar spark, just an awkward formality. I turned and walked away. The images burned into my mind. The way he looked at her, the way they laughed, the way his hand lingered. The walk home was a blur of tears and disbelief. My mind replayed the scene over and over, dissecting every detail, every nuance. The puzzle pieces that had been scattered for weeks suddenly clicked into place, forming a horrifying picture. The late nights, the phone secrecy, the growing distance, the lack of intimacy. It all made sense now, a cruel, twisted logic. When he finally came home that evening, the air in our apartment was thick with unspoken accusation. I was sitting on the sofa, my eyes red and swollen. He walked in, dropped his keys on the counter, and just stood there for a moment. "We need to talk," I said, my voice trembling. He sighed, a deep, weary sound that sent a fresh wave of pain through me. "I know," he said quietly. And then it all spilled out. The confession. The other woman, her name was Sarah. She was new at work. They had been working closely on the project. It started innocently, he claimed. Long hours, shared meals, late-night texts about work. Then it blurred. Emotional connection, he called it. He never meant to hurt me, he insisted. He was confused, lost. That word echoed in my mind. He was lost, but I was shattered. He was confused, but I was utterly broken. The man I loved, the man I trusted, the man I had built my entire future with, had betrayed me in the most profound way. The anger came in waves, hot and searing. "How could you?" I screamed at him. "How could you do this to us, to me?" He stood there taking it, his face pale, his eyes downcast. There were tears in his eyes too, but I couldn't feel pity. Only a raw, burning rage. The arguments raged for days. We talked in circles, replaying the same painful facts, the same hollow apologies. He said he was sorry, he regretted it, he wanted to fix things. But how do you fix something so fundamentally broken? How do you rebuild trust when the foundation has crumbled into dust? Every memory, every shared moment, every promise felt tainted. Our golden past was now just a collection of lies, a carefully constructed facade that had hidden a painful truth. I looked at him and saw a stranger, a betrayer. The man I loved was gone, replaced by this version of him that I didn't recognize and couldn't forgive. Sleep became a luxury I couldn't afford. My mind raced, through scenarios, questions, doubts. Was it me? Was I not enough? Did I push him away? These thoughts were poisonous whispers that ate away at my self-worth. I knew rationally it wasn't my fault, but the pain twisted logic into knots. Our apartment, which once felt like a sanctuary, now felt like a prison. Every object, every corner, held a memory, a reminder of what we had lost. The sofa, where we used to cuddle, the kitchen where we cooked together, the bed where we once shared so much intimacy. They all mocked me with their silence. Friends tried to offer comfort, but their words felt hollow. How could they understand the depth of this betrayal? How could they comprehend the feeling of your entire world crumbling around you while everyone else's continued unaffected? The hardest part was the trust. It wasn't just Michael I couldn't trust anymore. It was myself, my judgment, my ability to read people, my belief in love and fidelity. Everything felt shaken to its core. He continued to plead for another chance, to beg for forgiveness. He promised to cut all ties with Sarah, to go to therapy, to do whatever it took to earn back my trust. I wanted to believe him. I truly did. A part of me, the part that still remembered the warmth, the love, the shared dreams, longed for that possibility. But another part, a more wounded, cynical part, screamed that it was too late, that some things once broken can never be truly mended. I pictured our future together, a future I had always imagined in vivid color. Now it was just a blank canvas, devoid of shape or form. Could I ever look at him again without seeing Sarah's face? Could I ever truly feel safe again in his arms, knowing what he was capable of? The thought of constantly looking over my shoulder, of always questioning his whereabouts, his phone, his explanations, was exhausting. The decision was agonizing. It felt like tearing a part of myself away. But I knew I couldn't live with the constant shadow of doubt. I couldn't build a future on a foundation of betrayal. I needed to heal, and I realized I couldn't do that while still living in the wreckage of our past. So I told him it was over. The words tasted like ash in my mouth. His face crumpled. He cried openly, something I hadn't seen him do in years. It tore at my heart, but my resolve remained. I had to choose myself. I had to choose my peace. Packing my things felt surreal. Each item a relic of a life that no longer existed. The books we bought together, the silly gifts, the photos of happier times. Each one a tiny dagger twisting in my gut. He watched me silently, his presence a heavy weight in the room. Leaving that apartment, that home, that life was the hardest thing I'd ever done. The door clicked shut behind me, a finality that echoed through my very bones. The golden hue of my world had faded to a desolate gray. The first few weeks were a blur of grief and numbness. I cried until I had no tears left. I questioned every decision I had ever made. I felt lost adrift, without an anchor. The future that once stretched out so clearly before me was now an intimidating unknown. But slowly, gradually, painstakingly slowly, the fog began to lift. I started to rediscover myself, apart from him, apart from us. I started small. Going for walks, rediscovering old hobbies, reconnecting with friends I had neglected. Each step forward felt monumental. The pain is still there, a dull ache that surfaces unexpectedly. I still miss the man I thought he was, the life we were supposed to have. But the suffocating anger and despair have started to recede. They have been replaced by a quiet determination, a resolve to rebuild, to find my own warmth, my own golden hue. Infidelity isn't just about the act itself. It's about the shattering of trust, the erosion of security, the the painful re-evaluation of every shared memory. It's about losing not just a partner, but a version of yourself you thought you knew. But it also forces you to confront your own strength, your own resilience. It pushes you to redefine happiness on your own terms. I am not the same person I was. The innocence is gone. The blind faith is gone. But in its place is a harder wisdom, a more discerning heart. I am learning to trust myself again, to listen to that gut feeling I once ignored. I am learning that heartbreak isn't the end, but a brutal, sometimes necessary beginning. The journey ahead is long and uncertain, but for the first time in a long time, I feel a flicker of hope. A small, fragile flame in the darkness. It's not the golden light I knew, but it's my own light, and it's growing. The question of forgiveness lingers a silent echo in the quiet moments. Can I ever truly forgive him? I don't know. Perhaps one day. Not for him, but for my own peace. Holding on to that bitterness only hurts me, a poison that seeps into every corner of my soul. But forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. It doesn't mean excusing. It means releasing myself from the burden of perpetual anger. That process is slow and torturous, a landscape I am still navigating with cautious steps. I see glimpses of it in moments of unexpected calm or